It's the GOAT Coach, Coach T Flow, and this is a special edition of Sidelines, the podcast. Hey, good morning, guys. America do what America does. There is, if you haven't heard about the LSU, Iowa women's NCAA basketball game and how it ended, and more so the after story about what happened afterwards, then you must have been hiding up under a rock. Sunday evening, the LSU Tigers were victorious in beating the Hawkeyes. And the backstory that came out of the game was that one player, Angel Reese, shout out Angel, was classless, rude, disrespectful. And the loser, Caitlyn Clarke, has become America's hero, so to speak. So that's the narrative that the media has been pushing. And guys, this story has blown up to proportions that, I mean, I'm not surprised. This is what America does, you know what I'm saying? But the comparisons, the striking comparisons are just, they're just crazy at this point. And it's not even just coming from, not to make it political, but it has become political. Our First Lady had chimed in yesterday saying that she thinks that both schools should be invited to the White House. Now, if you know sports, when there's a championship game or series, it's, I guess, just traditional ceremony that the winner goes to the White House to meet the president. I've never heard of the loser being invited to the White House. So this is unprecedented with our First Lady, Jill Biden. It was basically her opinion. I don't know if she said she's going to ask her husband, Joe, could he make it happen? So I don't know if the president is going to do it, but that right there made it political in itself, whether you're Democrat or Republican. It's really more on racial lines, just to be honest. Those who are hoopers and ballers, they see it different. The laymen, the regular people who probably just watch the game just because it's the last game, don't really follow sports, they're the one that's in a uproar. And I think to a small degree it can have political implications if Joe Biden invites the Hawkeyes to the White House. It'll be a slap in the face to LSU, most definitely. And you have to ask ourselves, would they have invited LSU if Iowa would have won the game? So the comparison I would like to make, and I'm gonna be brutally honest in my eyes. If you look at Caitlyn Clarke, when her gestures on the court for several games, was it rude and classless when she did the John Cena, you can't see me, or when she was checking another player and she shooed her away like, girl, you can't shoot? And that's what the gesture was. And just the little antics they do on court. Basketball is a very competitive game. It's a lot of trash talk. And I was watching this TikTok of this little kid, this little white boy, real small, like 6 or 7, and they play on the church goals. And on the church, I assume it was a church. I saw some crosses and stuff in the background on the wall, but they play on the low goals. They put like a little a goal on top of a goal, and the goals are lower. Man, this little kid, man, he was doing them. Talking about handles behind the back crossovers, coming back lay-ins. So the goal is low, so he just styling. Every shot, John Cena, you too little, come eat it, wherever all those crowd going ape shit. White crowd going ape shit. So this is way before, when I saw this video, this is way before the NCAA Women's Championship. But I was thinking to myself, not even from a race point of view, I was just thinking for myself, 'cause I see all the kids do this. I'm like, they learning this stuff, this unsportsmanlike conduct. They learning this coming off the rip, you know. And then you see it in AAU, if you watch AAU basketball. You see it in high school basketball, even the student sections. the school my son goes to, their rival, they talk so much trash. I mean, I heard some of the worst trash talking between my son's school and their rivals than I ever heard in my life. Some of the things they were saying, I was like, especially when they were, I ain't gonna say the school's name, but their rival used to say, daddy's money, and they used to say something like, you're poor, and I'm like, yeah, I'm poor too. But trash talk, all that, it's in the game. So we have to ask ourselves, when it comes to LSU and Iowa, what made it different? And it's clear. I mean, people be trying to cut around. It's like it's a white team against a black team. Let's just call it like it is. Let's stop being politically correct. Let's just be honest with each other so we can have these conversations to get things out. So basically, it was the white against the blacks. Civil War. I mean, it was the most watched NCAA women's championship ever. Everybody wanted to see if the white girls could pull it off. And, they gave a great effort, but, they got spanked. But that's not the story. The story is gestures. So when Caitlyn Clarke defeated the South Carolina Gamecocks, another African-American team for the most part, like I said, she had her gestures, and it was nothing being said about it. Nothing. Nobody said nothing. No media frenzy. Wasn't nobody calling her out. But when Angel Reese poured on the same antics, she's disrespectful. She's classless. She's an effing idiot. So you get all these slurs and all these racial undertones with Angel Reese's antics, but you didn't hear those for Caitlyn. And I don't think that's fair. I mean, it's America. That's how America does. But to chastise one and not the other isn't fair. Now, my son sent me. I love my son. He's a self-thinker. I like that. Some kids just agree with their dads or agree with their parents just because they're parents. My son had a different take on it. My son said, and matter of fact, shout out to Dimitri. He texted me. I guess he saw one of my posts and he was like, yeah, Dad, I see what you're saying, but the difference was she was in her face following her around, and Caitlyn didn't do that. So I text my son back, and I'm going to say it not verbatim, but something to this effect. I was like, yeah, that's true, but we don't know what was said on that floor. Like I said, basketball is a very competitive sport. The girls be talking junk all game to each other, and the referee didn't do the best job officiating, if you ask me, either. But when it came down to that final last one, I mean, it's an argument to say that Angel overdid it, because she did it several times, but we don't know what was said on the court. And I would also say this. If somebody robbed a bank, and one person went in with a note, and the other one put a gun in the teller face, at the end of the day, both of them are robbing the bank, which is not right. But one of them probably going to get more time, one who put the gun in the teller's face. And I said that to say that just looking at it from the outside, like I said, I'm going to always be honest, I think an argument can be made that she overdid it. That argument can be made that she overdid it. She did this a couple times. She did that a couple times. It seemed like she went out of her way to let Caitlyn know. Then one time at period of college night, what's up now, ho, or something to that effect. Just trying to read lips, and maybe she said that, maybe she didn't. But she definitely went out her way to let her know she got this ring. And you didn't see, not say it, because I'm going to tell you something. Every sports journalist is going through footage right now. I do media. I mean, I don't have time to get into it like deep as a lot of professional sports journalists do. But they're combing through footage right now of every game they've seen Caitlyn play. Trust me, that's what they're doing now. And I wouldn't be surprised if the next couple of days we see some footage of Caitlyn and people fake doing that or whatever, or being aggressive, because they want to show that, hey, all the girls do this. Just like that little white boy I saw playing for the church league. All the kids are doing it. So we can't look at one and being like, she's this, she's that, she's this, because she was being disrespectful. If that's the case, the NCAA, AAU, college, high school, whatever, needs to make rules on taunting. At the end of the game, it's kind of hard, but you can't suspend the player the next year if they're coming back. I mean, there's things that you can do to halt taunting if that's not what we want in the game. But I beg to differ. I think we want that in the game. We want to get hyped. We want to get turned up with our players. We just don't want to be on the losing end. So if you're one of those people who are chastising Angel Reese but not chastising Caitlyn Clarke for her antics, I think you're being biased. I'm not going to call you racist, but, it bears to ask, if you're a black person, like my son is, of course my son is black, and he definitely seemed like he took more of the Caitlyn stance, and I love him for that. I love my son for having his own mind, seeing things how he sees it, and he kind of wrote with Caitlyn on it. Like, hey, Dad, I didn't see her being as aggressive as Angel. I think both of them were just real hype players, passionate about their sport. We can't tell her to turn it down, and that's just who she is. Be like Caitlyn. You can't do that. She got to be like Angel, and Caitlyn got to be like Caitlyn. Now, it seemed like Caitlyn was a very class act, but I didn't see Angel Reese being unclassed. I saw her being a team player. I saw her being a competitor. And I'll say this. Remember when Tim Tebow used to kneel before the game? A lot of people forget that. Tim Tebow used to kneel before the game. Oh, he's godly. He's a Christian boy. Colin Kaepernick kneeled. Oh, he hates America. Guys, Tom Brady on the sideline throwing pads and helmets. He's passionate. He wants to win. Cam Newton does it. He doesn't respect the game. I mean, come on, man. I can do these comparisons all day, how America sets the narrative against the person of color versus the white person. That's just what America does. They make the black people the villain. And they make the white person the hero, the antagonist and antagonist. That's what we do. So, and to deny it is really being naive, because that's just how it is. To say Angel Reese is a bad person, you don't even know her, the Bayou Barbie, and to create these narratives about her without doing the same to Caitlyn, where she just played some of the same behavior, to me is biased and maybe in some cases racist. I'm just going to call it like it is. Anyway, give me your opinions on it. It's the GOAT Coach, Coach T Flow, Mr. CGY Sports. I'm out. Peace.